All right, you guys, as many of you guys know, we have 7 here. This horse is a really fantastic horse. 7's only vice is there are days that when you first get on him, he can be, would you call him cold-backed? Or just you saddle him and he's kind of got a hump in his back. He's never bucked anybody off. I could see how if maybe an older person bought 7, somebody with no experience, he could intimidate you. But as far as being here, he's probably one of the brokest, nicest horses we've ever had. Just, if you give him, like if he's had, like Brandon gave him what? He's had like 10 days off. Brandon saddled him. He had a big hump in his back. And Brandon just kind of rode him out of it. And he didn't buck Brandon off. It wasn't, but I think it could intimidate somebody that maybe doesn't have a lot of experience. Maybe somebody a little bit older that really doesn't want to hit the ground could be intimidated. But this horse is one hand fancy broke. The more we've owned him, the more I've about decided that he's about priceless. I mean, this horse is a very broke, drag his butt, good horse. But again, I just want to reiterate for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, when you first saddle him, sometimes he has a big hump in his back and you're like, oh shit, is he going to buck me off? No, he's never bucked anybody off here. He's never really tried to throw down and buck. Yeah, it's like he's got a little hump in his back, and so he's like a little bullfrog. He kind of will, like you'll trot him off and you can feel it and you know it's there and you're like, oh gosh. But this horse has never dropped his head. And the thing about him is he's really honest about it. Every single time that we've given him time off, if you give him 3 or 4 days, he'll do it. Now, if you ride him every single day, nobody would ever know, and we could hide it and not tell anybody, because it's not like if you ride him every day, he still does it. But if you give him a couple of days off, when you saddle him, he'll hump around, and you'll be like, okay, is this a bronc? Is he going to buck me off? No, but he is going to have a hump in his back. I think it's the one thing that prevented him from being a $15,000, $20,000 horse, because they said he's registered and he's won some money in the 2-man team sorting. He will really get down and watch a cow. The people we got him from were an older couple, and the wife he was bought for the man's wife. The wife was a little older, and I can see how if you were 60-something years old, you might be a little bit intimidated. He had a little abscess when he first got here. That's gotten better. He has stayed super, super sound. He's really never taken any lame steps. He had that little abscess, and he never really limped. You could tell he was just a touch off, like he would take a funny step. But after that abscess bust in the right front, he's never taken a lame step, not at a walk, trot, or lope since then. And I think that abscess was just brought on from being in the nasty cell barn environment and then hauled all the way down here. But Brandon, yeah, that's what I say, will you step on it? We did have Tyler put shoes on him. He's fantastic for the farrier. This horse is pretty much, I mean, I would say that he is a horse that's completely vice-free with 0 issues at all whatsoever, except for, I will tell you that if you don't ride him for a couple of days, we've had him in a stall and we're feeding him sweet feed, and that's when we kind of found it. We were like, oh, okay. Saw Brandon drag his foot across his butt right there. He's not a jumpy, spooky horse. And I don't know. He just, you'll saddle him and he'll have a big freaking giant hump in his back. We've never lunged him though, we've never lunged him to see if it goes away. We've always just stepped on him. Yes, he's got huge dapples. So I don't know, for some of you guys that are a little bit older and you're like, I really love him, can I lunge him out of it? We've never had to. It's never been so bad that we needed to lunge him. We always just stepped on him and then just took off. That way he had to just get over it. And he's never downed his head and actually thrown down and bucked. But it's hard to explain, because you'll go to lope him off and he'll just have a big hump in his back and you'll think, oh gosh, he might buck, but he never does throw down. So this is 7. His original number when he came here was 1027. And he's sound, he's solid, he's coming 9 years old. Brandon, will you just turn him around both directions? He's got a lot of patience. He's not an impatient horse. He's absolutely not trying to buck anybody off or be ugly. But the only vice that this horse has, and I'm telling you, I could sell him for $8,500 in an instant if I lied about it and didn't tell people about the hump in his back, because he's honestly a steal at that price. I think Jacob has him priced at $6,500. I think at that price, you'll never find another horse broke this good, sound, this age for that price. But, and Brandon just lope him straight off and stop him. He is not a bronc, and he is not, oh shit, Brandon? I saw it happen, and I'm not really sure how to fix it. Look at him, he's totally confused. I thought we were going to have to cut him down. He's all right. Will you walk over? Well, yeah, hang on. All right, you guys, let me go help them. Did you see what happened? He went to lay down and roll on the walker path. And then when he went to get up, the rope was like around his legs, and he thought the walker had him, and he was like, oh my God, it's got me. I knew. He's putting himself in his stall. It's okay. The horse went to lay down and roll on the walker, except for he was tied up. So when he went to lay down and roll, he realized he couldn't roll over, and he panicked. He was like, oh my God, the walker, it's got me. I'm sure he did. His mind is blown. Will you turn him around right there and... Yeah. Will you turn him around and lope him off? He just went to lay down and roll, but when he went to get up, the lead rope was like strung out. Yeah, it scared him. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sir, what happened? He said, listen. He said, listen, Mom. I mean, nothing really happened. Like, see the halter, he just laid down to roll on the walker path, and, he was tied up, and it was like he didn't expect for his halter to... Oh. Did it get you, sir? Come here. He was like, I just wanted to lay down. He was like, why? Why did it do that to me, Jess? Yeah. Will you lope him off, Brandon? Just so you guys know, I mean, once you saddle him and ride him off, the hump is gone, and he's the best horse on the place. But if you give this horse even 1 or 2 days off, when you first saddle him, I really do think you could lunge it out of him. Like, if you're somebody that really doesn't want to just the hump out of him, you could just lunge him, and he would be fine. All right, you guys, this is 7. Look at Effort. Effort's like, Brandon, let me tell you. So he was snapped up by the lead rope. So he went to lay down and roll. But when he jumped up, that lead rope's really long. So it was like kind of wrapped around him, like when he went to get up. And he was like, oh, it's got me. And then so he just bolted and took off. And the lead rope wasn't tight enough, so the knot popped out of it. So he just ran off and was like, and then of course the lead rope was following him. Yeah. Yeah, he needs to go back out. He does better outside. You know what, you guys, we had this horse in a stall for a long time. Brandon will tell you he stood in a stall, and he's no better turned out or put up. If you turn him out, don't ride him behind her. She'll kick the shit out of both of you. Watch out. Don't lose a kneecap. Yeah, no, she for sure will. He's like, you guys, he wants to tell you guys his trauma. He's like, I was on the walker and she rode me. So here's the thing, you guys, I needed to lay down and I needed to roll in the sand. But when I went to lay in the sand, this lead rope, it touched me, and it touched me between my legs. He said, so it scared me. So then I went to run off. And then when I ran off, I got loose. And when I got loose, it was chasing me and it was following behind me. And I'm like, it was your lead rope and it was attached to you the entire time. Okay. And he's like, so I just put myself in my stall where I'm safe. He's like, I just put myself in the stall where it's safe. I just went home. I just went home where there's cookies and snacks and my mom. Look at him. He's like, but cookies. Yeah. Guys. Yodi, what are you doing? Yodi is wanting to know where his snacks are. Petra, hello? Would you like to go in the TheraPlate?
She's like, I really want him to walk behind me.
Hey, she really, she's like, hey.
She's like, sounds great, huh?
She's like, hey, there's a Mercedes Benz behind me. You want to just go back there, Brandon, with that beautiful buckskin and get that? There's keys to a Mercedes. There's keys to a Mercedes Benz on the ground. If you'll just walk behind me, you can have them. I'm like, she will fucking kick you. She'll kick him. She'll kick you. She'll bite you. She doesn't give a fuck.
She wants you to go back there.
She's got the personality of an alligator. I mean, I like her. I love her. But I mean, there's absolutely no excuse for her horrible behavior. I've had her hormones checked. I've kept her on ulcer medication. She's just sorrel mare behavior is just not really. She said, excuse me, you said something about those cookies? And don't think she's bit me. I mean, she's bit me in the face. I was like, oh, she's loving me, look. And she just snapped my face. And I was like, oh my God, you're a fucking bitch. I do love you though, sweet girl. I don't think you're at all sweet, but she's like, excuse me, that smells like alfalfa. All right, you guys, we're going to come on, Petra, let's go on the TheraPlate. We will see you guys later. Bye, you guys. Do not be aggressive with me. Goodbye.